All right, today we're diving into an animal that is just a total living paradox. We're talking about a true titan of the ocean, a creature of almost unbelievable scale, but it's also one of the most peaceful inhabitants of the entire sea, the whale shark. Think about that for a second. The biggest fish in the entire ocean is also the gentlest. It just doesn't sound right, does it? Well, that's exactly the paradox we're going to unpack.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, because the name itself is, let's be honest, kind of confusing. Is it a whale? Is it a shark? What's the deal? Well, let's dive in and get some answers.
Okay, first things first, we have to talk about size. Because when I say giant, that word almost doesn't do it justice. It is really, really hard to wrap your head around the true scale of this animal. So get this, the biggest ones ever recorded can be up to 18 meters long. To give you some perspective, that's longer than a school bus. Just picture that for a second. A living creature the size of a bus just cruising past you in the water. Wild. And what about weight? How about a staggering 21 tons? We are talking about an animal that weighs more than two full-grown elephants put together. This is, no question, a titan of the deep. And right there, that's the central paradox. You hear shark, and what do you picture? Jaws, right? A powerful apex predator. But the whale shark? It couldn't be more different. This is a docile filter feeder, just gently cruising the oceans, looking for plankton. Okay, so we've established it's absolutely massive. But where on earth do you even find a creature like this? Where's its home? Well, it turns out the whale shark is a real globetrotter. You can find it all over the world in tropical and warm temperate seas. It really loves those warmer waters, especially near the equator. Yeah, they're not too picky about depth. They're just as happy in deep water as they are in shallow coastal areas. You'll often find them hanging out near lagoons and coral reefs. And they have a surprisingly specific comfort zone when it comes to temperature. They like it just right, a nice, cozy 21 to 25 degrees Celsius. All right, so how in the world does an animal that big get enough to eat? Well, its diet, that's another one of its amazing paradoxes. You heard that right. The biggest fish in the world survives by eating some of the tiniest things in the ocean. We're talking a diet of almost nothing but plankton and super small fish. It's an absolute master of filter feeding. And the process itself is just so elegant and simple. First, it opens that massive mouth, which can be a whole meter wide, by the way, and just takes in this huge gulp of water and whatever prey is in there. Then it just closes its mouth, pushes all that water out through its gills, and all the good stuff, all the nutrients, get trapped inside. So those gills, they basically act like a gigantic, super intricate sieve. Water rushes out, but the food gets left behind. It's just an incredibly efficient system for picking out tiny little meals from the enormous ocean. Okay, now hold on, get ready for this. Inside that giant mouth, they have over 3,000 teeth. But, and here's the crazy part, they don't use them to bite or chew at all. They're just these tiny leftover remnants that have basically no role in feeding. How wild is that? So we've talked size, location, and diet, but honestly, some of the most mind-blowing details are hidden in its anatomy, and we're going to start with its skin. So to really get a shark skin, you need to know this one term, dermal denticles. It literally translates to skin teeth, and that's exactly what they are. These tiny, super hard, tooth-like scales that cover a shark's whole body. So what that means is a whale shark's skin isn't smooth at all. It's got this rough, kind of sandpaper-like texture, and it basically forms this incredible, natural suit of armor. But the whale shark takes this whole skin-teeth thing to a level that no other animal does. And this is where it gets just unbelievable. Scientists discovered that whale sharks have these dermal denticles, these skin teeth, covering their eyeballs. This has never been seen in any other vertebrate on the planet. I'm going to say that again. They have armored eyeballs. Just let that sink in for a minute. And hey, as if armored eyeballs weren't already wild enough, what about those beautiful white spots, the ones that make up its unique pattern? Well, there's a belief they might actually be bioluminescent, meaning they could produce their own light. It's just another layer of mystery on this incredible animal. So, after all this, what does the future actually hold for this incredible creature? To really understand that, we need to look at how long it lives and, its place in our modern world. It turns out whale sharks live a really long time. We're talking an average lifespan of between 70 and 100 years. They're these slow-growing, long-lived creatures, just kind of moving through the ocean at their own super unhurried pace. But that slow, unhurried pace, that's part of why we have to be so careful. You see, despite their massive size and their suit of armor, their official conservation status is globally vulnerable. These ancient animals are facing very modern threats, and that slow life cycle makes them especially at risk. And that really brings us to the final big question. This armored, gentle, globe-trotting giant, it's roamed our oceans for millions of years, so the crucial question for us right now is this: what's it going to take to make sure it can keep roaming for millions more?